There's 7 people who in fact make the decision. We don't need but 3 of them. So when you start thinking, well, Ellie who wants to do this, I understand the math of doing things. It's 4. All that other stuff you know talking about, it comes down to the number 4. You get 4 trustees, you can do anything you want. And I will make sure the students start amassing their commitment of the 4. But putting them down in the deed is in fact just, I shouldn't say it's going to be something, but it's treating us like we've been treated all our lives. Okay. Somebody said, we're going to give you something, and then they take something better from us and give us some crap.
Thank you very much. We thank you for being able, we thank you for being able to share with us the institutional history of this place and how it came about. We are grateful for that. Your point is well taken. Because you came late to this meeting, as you did, as you said, you're not aware about what statement has been made about whatever plan that is being presented today. Let me assure you, let me tell you this. Peralta will not do anything differently that the college has not agreed to do. This is a roadmap. This roadmap is not carved in stones. It is a plan that has been designed by a consultant that we hired by the district. How we utilize it, when we need to make changes, will be determined by the stakeholders. That is how we began this meeting. So nobody is going to be changing this if it is not something that the constituency has agreed to do. And the other thing I wanted to share with the group is that at Lenny, for instance, they pay like $2. We have student center, and there is their building. But right now, the district is planning to sink about $30 million of Lenny College funding to be able to revamp the place and make it a much more better building than what they have currently. So whatever decision that the college makes, not Ellery Harris or the board, because the board listens to what the constituency have before they make decisions in terms of voting, we're going to do that. This is a roadmap. So you need to understand that nobody will be compelled to do anything ordinarily.
We just spent $5 million on this building.
Okay.
We spent $5 million on this building. We spent several $1 million on the P building. Why did we spend that money? I understand we have this $300 million. Absolutely understand. But why did we spend the $5 million we spent making this ostensibly?
So what we are discussing now is cost.
First class.
Yeah, so what you are talking about in terms of cost, the analysis and the planning that will be done will include cost. You cannot spend that much money and just flush that through the toilet as if it doesn't matter. We cannot spend taxpayers' money that way. So, as I said, your point is well taken. Cost will be taken into consideration along with what stakeholders want to do. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, but don't hold forms.
Okay.
If you don't want the form to talk.
Thank you. No, we appreciate what you've said. I told you that. Yeah, why don't you go ahead?
All right, continuing on. Well, one of the things that we're talking about with this plan is that there are 3 phases. The first phase are projects that are imminent. These are projects that are going to happen and projects that will be happening within the first 5 years of the program. These projects include the modernization of the library, which is currently in design. It includes the modernization of the horticulture building, which is on the books currently. and the Allied Health building, Allied Health Science building, which is going to be done. These are the two primary projects that are going to be done first to begin the process, as well as an infrastructure project to address all the infrastructure needs on the campus.
One of the additions that we want to put there is a building Q. There's some work that is going to be done in building Q during the first 5-year period. So that would be an addition.
Is that the underground work? Or,
no, they're going to have HVAC and those type of projects.
So these are projects that are in the first 5 years. There's funding for these projects. They've been earmarked to happen, and these projects are going to be moving forward. The next 10 years, as Zeke has mentioned before, are projects that are proposed that may or may not happen, dependent upon, number one, the will and desire of the campus and the board to move forward with them. Number two, whether or not there will be funding for them, either funding from the district and or funding from the state. And without either of those two happening, these projects won't occur. And some of them actually in the phase 2 and 3, will also require some type of public-private partnership, which is going to take a much longer term to actually negotiate and get all those things to come together. In these include the modernization of Building D, because as we mentioned before, Building A, which is dotted lightly here, is going to come down. As part of that coming down, this building will be built, and they're going to plan to modernize this building. Then the modernization of Building Q is moving forward into phase 1 now. The demolition of Building A, of course, and then we're talking about some new parking when Building A comes down. We provide some additional parking in this area that also brings parking a little closer in to the main campus buildings, which will be the new Allied Health building and whatever we're proposing. Probably the second floor of Building D will still be classroom functions will occur up there.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's that over in parking lot? 6, I can't read that. Conference center.
That is just a form that's out there for some future development that's going to occur out that may occur out there as part of a public-private partnership. There was another question?
No, what did you just say?
Oh, I'm sorry. The question he asked was, he asked what was this item number 6. And I told him that this is just a form that's out here because the idea is at some point in the future that maybe able to get a public-private partnership. And that's, you see the dash line here, to develop some sort of a conference center or some kind of a building out there that will be
There's parking lot over here.
Yeah, parking lot across the street. The one across the street.
We're building a performing arts center there.
Well, that's even possible too.
That's what you're talking about, performing arts conference center that you build with the city.
Quick question. At what point would you begin to place some identity markers? You're saying that building an identity within the campus community is a crucial part of the atmosphere anyway. And I would say within the next 5 years, you could at least begin to put some additional identity markers. Would that be right?
Yes, and actually that doesn't show us clearly here, but what we wanted to do, you saw some of the things we had here that ran through here, that ran across in the sketches. Yes, those would begin to go in this phase. Yeah, particularly as part of this new building going in, we want to start this that goes through here to go in at that point in time.
And it appeared as though some of those markers might have been some lighting.
There's lighting, some obelisks, and those kinds of things that sort of say that here you are. Yes. And the new Child Development Center, of course, is also proposed to go into this phase as well. And then the last phase is continuing to look at some of these circulation cores, the ball field, perhaps a performing arts center of some type, the pool, if that ever happens, and some addition to the athletic facilities, and then a continuation of these corridors through the parking lot to, at the end of the parking lot, part of the idea at the end of the parking lot is to create almost like a little vest pocket park in essence. One of the things that we know is that people either park